Mr. Patterson, you can take over.
Thank you. How's everybody doing this morning? Good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not used to that. Back last year when I was teaching here in MCOB, I would ask a question, and instead of a joint good, it would be crickets, and then one person might chime in, so I like that. All right, fantastic. Well, like Dr. Nelson said, I'm gonna be talking to y'all today about idea generation. But first I wanna find out where are we standing today. So how many of y'all already think you have your business idea that you wanna take through this program? Okay, so we got 3, 4, 5-ish. All right, we'll start here. What you got? Okay, what do you do? Oh. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, people do pay quite a premium for their nails, as I found out when I looked at the bank account statement not too long ago after my wife went. All right, who was next? There was somebody else on this side. Now we're shy? Who was my other person on this side that had an idea? What you got?
Hair. I want to do hair.
You want to do hair? Okay, hey, you know, nail, hair, a lot of those go hand in hand. Do y'all know each other already? Okay, fantastic. Well, keep talking because maybe y'all can work together in the future. All right, what else?
So I have an idea for tattoos that you know invisible ink.
Okay.
So people might not want others to see their tattoos, so they could get it visibly done, and whenever they want to show them off, they could use the black light or any sort of thing to show off.
That is very interesting. I feel like that would be kind of cool on some of the Disney rides, like you're on Haunted Mansion there on the end, and all of a sudden you start glowing. That might confuse a few people. Might think you're part of the attraction. All right, I know I had, all right, what you got? Clothing brand. Okay, fantastic. What kind of style?
Mostly like
Urban
urban streetwear.
streetwear. Nice.
Rick Owens type thing I'm trying to go into.
Okay, nice. And I know we had one more. Where were we at? Am I assuming we did? Okay, I might have been wrong. We may be good there. Fantastic. Well, for the rest of y'all, don't worry. The whole point of this session is to get you thinking about what are you going to be carrying forward. That way you're prepared for the next steps, right? Because you can't pitch a business if you don't know what you're going to pitch. So there's a lot of different ways to approach idea generation, right? There's brainstorming, there's flow of consciousness, which is a really fun one if y'all have never done that. It's hard to try or hard to do the first time. You literally just start writing everything that comes to your head, and you do not take your pen off of the paper. So you don't pause at all. You can get something quite interesting out of that. And also one of my favorites, and one that would tie in really well with this, what we're going to talk about today, is a bugs list. And no, that does not include ants, termites, fleas, although those would all bug you. What we're talking about are what are the things in life that bugs you, right? So you go through, you take a specific period of time and say, okay, well, what's going to bug me this week? And as you go through the week, traffic on Airport Boulevard would probably hit every single person in Mobile's list if you have to drive on airport. For me, and I'm going to use this example a couple of times throughout the day, Legos. I absolutely love Legos. However, I don't always have the time to put them together. For example, my current backlog of Legos that I have to build include the massive Mos Eisley Cantina, the big AT-AT, and yeah. So I've probably spent way too much money. I probably have like $2,000 worth of Legos that I've not yet to build. So, you know, that's a current bug of mine, right? So that's another thing that you can think about is what bugs you throughout the day. Because what is that? That's a problem. And what do entrepreneurs do? What do they solve? They solve problems, right? Name any business. Amazon. What problem do they solve?
Ease of shopping. You just buy things online.
There you go. You can buy things online. Easy. It gets delivered to your doorstep, right? And then they bundle in other things, and you get Amazon Prime Music and Amazon Prime TV, right? You start bundling all of those things and expanding because it's all easier, right? So that's one thing that you'll find a lot with entrepreneurs is how are they trying to make life easier? How are they trying to solve problems? What's another business? What was that? I heard something. Chick-fil-A. What problem do they solve? Hunger. Fantastic. Unless it's Sunday, and then go hungry. Yeah, fantastic. Great chicken. Well, good chicken. Good fast food chicken. Right? All right, give me one more. Let's think of one more fun one. Walmart. Okay. What does Walmart solve? Yeah, so they do have their new delivery service. They have drive-up service. They have a pickup service. But what's Walmart's big seller? Like what sells Walmart for people? Groceries, but what? The prices, right? That's Walmart's big thing, is how they're priced. Their main goal is to keep prices as low as possible in order to go through and get customers, sorry, I'm using target terms with guests, customers coming in the door, right? Fantastic. So what you need to start thinking about is what are the problems that you are going to solve? But to do that, you have to think about what are the problems you want to solve. It's not just about, oh, well, this is a big problem I see. I don't care about it, but I know it could make me money, right? So what are you passionate about? And that's why I really like to do this. Who knows what this is? You all should, because it comes up all the time. A Venn diagram, right? So on this side, we're going to look at things that you enjoy, right? And on this side, we're looking at things that make money. So, for example, I love, as I said earlier, Lego, right? That's something I enjoy. That's something that I can build upon, right? And that's the whole, I can build upon. That's the whole premise of today is what are we building upon? I forgot to bring this up earlier because I wanted to show this. Speaking of Lego, who knows what that is? It is a PC case. Specifically, it's a server case. You are looking at how Google was started. This was the very first Google server. And they built it out of Lego bricks so that they could build upon it, right? Because with Legos, you can constantly expand because you can build higher and higher and add more slots to that server deck, right? And so the question is going to be today, what problem are you solving? What are the things that you are building upon throughout this session, throughout the next session, in order to get ready for the pitch competition and your future, right? So what are you building upon? And then on this side, you have how do you make money? So you can sell Legos, right? For example, what's a good set example? The Death Star 2 from the early 2000s. Original MSRP was right around $600. Does anyone know how much it goes online for right now? Yeah, tried 9,000. Yeah. Now you wonder why I keep all my Lego boxes. Right? So that's an example of something that would be easy to do. You can buy and sell them. A lot of people do those kinds of things, right? But the question is, what are you passionate about? What do you enjoy? Give me some examples. Huh?
Playing video games.
Video games. Okay, yeah. What do you play?
All sorts of games.
Play League of Legends?
Not really.
Good, don't. I play League of Legends and I hate myself for it sometimes. Great game though. All right, what else? What else do we enjoy? Yeah.
I enjoy making jewelry.
Making jewelry. Okay. I know quite a bit about that. My sister actually has her own jewelry business up in Birmingham. So I completely get it. What kind do you do?
I like making whiskeys and bracelets.
Okay, fantastic. All right, what are some other things that we enjoy? What are we passionate about? Art. Okay. What else? Give me cheer. Okay, cheer, and I heard reading as well. Fantastic. So all of these are things that we're passionate about, right? They're things that we love, things that we enjoy. But what do they not do for us currently? They don't make us money, right? So these are just hobbies at this point. If it's not making money, it's just a hobby. Oh, yeah. Okay. Explain.
Say how you were saying video games, he created his own video game.
Yeah.
They like to read, they can write. People that like art, they can sell art.
That's the happy medium, right? So that's what you're looking for. You could go out and sell just about anything you want to, right? But are you going to want to sell something that you're not passionate about, that you don't enjoy, that you don't love, right? I mean, you can do it. You can do it for the paycheck at the end of the day. But you're going to be far more effective and far more efficient if it is something you love and enjoy. And that is the sweet spot. That is what we're looking for today. What are you passionate about, and what can make you money and hit us right in the middle, right? So that's what we're going to be boiling down to today. So what are some problems with some of these, right? So if you look in your workbook, you can see we have a few areas for you to fill out. You can look at different industries, and then you can start to think about what in those industries do you need to learn? What are some problems that you might be looking at, right? So, for example, if I wanted to look at the Lego industry, I could tell you a few of them. Some problems I notice: the official Lego minifigures are not always accurate, right? If you look at it, there are now people out there who sell custom Lego minifigures, and I've seen them go upwards of $100 to $200 just for a tiny minifigure to be as accurate as possible, right? Not that I've ever bought one, because I haven't. I might one day. But that would be a problem that people have seen, that they're passionate about, that they're now filling and turning into a business that they can make a living off of, and also that they're passionate about, right? So let's think about it. What are some things that you could do outside of that? Let's see, who said cheer? Where's my cheer person? All right, so what are some problems in the cheer world that you could consider solving? What about safety? Is safety a concern in cheer? Yeah, safety is a huge concern in cheer. So what are some problems with safety in cheer?
Say like, when we do tumbling or training, or training.
Yeah? Okay, so tumbling. What is a way to protect you from getting injured during that? What are some ways that you could solve that moving forward in the future?
We do our own bats, and then everybody have like a good grip of.
Yeah? Okay. So maybe something to enhance grip. Or if you don't have a mat, have y'all ever seen those suits that are basically inflatable airbags for yourself? Has anyone seen those before? Yes. Okay, I've got some yeses and nos. It basically, you just wear an airbag on yourself. That way, if you start to fall, it pops out and saves you from injuring yourself. A big clientele, and the one that was actually designed for, are older generations, right? People who are 80, 90 years old that are at a higher fall risk, who also have other comorbidities that would cause a fall to be potentially fatal. You now can wear a backpack that essentially turns into a giant cushion. So if you fall, it protects your head, neck, and tries to keep you going, right? So that would be something to think about. What are the problems that you want to solve? Video games. What are some problems in video games?
Piracy.
Piracy. Okay. All righty. All right. What else? Anybody else? Who else? I know more of y'all play video games. What else do we have? Yep. Bad graphics. Okay. Yeah. Big problem in video games. Any game that's designed in between generations, so right as the next PlayStation comes out, whenever the 6 comes out, all of the games that are going to be designed for that are also going to have to be cross-compatible with the previous generation. So you're not going to get the best performance out of your new machine, right? I saw your hand. Whose hand? Somebody's hand. Hacking and doxing, yes. Yeah, and dealing with bots. That's a big issue in League of Legends. I had one the other day that was about to drive me nuts, right? Fantastic. So now that you're starting to identify these problems, you need to start thinking about, well, how big of a problem is it, right? It bothers me, but how many other people does this bother? And that's when you go into your idea validation, right? You want to go through and look at it and say, okay, I see this as a problem. Does Susie see it as a problem? Does Jim see it as a problem? Does someone in California see it as a problem, right? So how do I then go through and validate, yeah, this might be a problem that I might want to solve, right? So that's what we're looking at today. Think about it. Think about what are the industries that you're interested in? What are the things that make you happy? And then how do you go through them? So let's walk through one. We'll do Lego again, right? So we want to look at Lego, something I'm passionate about. I've already talked about the minifigures, but I don't want to do it again. So let's do something new. How many people, and I doubt any of y'all know this because it took me a lot of digging and a lot of weird people's roundabout ways to figure this out. How fast do you think the average person can put Legos together? So we'll put it in terms of pieces per hour. So how many Lego pieces can someone put together in an hour? 200 an hour? 100 an hour? In an hour, how many pieces could you put together? 50? 600. Okay. You have instructions, just like your regular. Okay, and how big are those sets?
Her biggest set was 2,500 pieces, and it took her 8 hours to keep that.
Okay, so 2,500 pieces in.
25 now. What? The elf Christmas house.
Mm-hmm.
It took us 12 hours to do that.
Okay, so doing the quick math, that would be roughly close. The average is anywhere between 300 to 400 pieces per hour is how quickly the average person can build a Lego set. Now, take for example, the UCS Millennium Falcon. The UCS Millennium Falcon is 7,651 pieces. It is not a small set. So how long is that going to take you? It's going to take the average person about 21 and a half hours to put that Lego set together. Took me a few months, but I was not doing it all back to back to back. I'd do it a bag at a time, right? But now the question is, does the average person have 21 and a half hours available to dedicate to that Lego set? No. So now, instead of having a business where it's a product, you can have a business that's a service, right? So your service to people could be, I will build your Lego sets for you for a percentage of how much its MSRP is, right? So, you know, UCS Millennium Falcon is a $900 set. It's going to take me 21 hours. Actually, the way you could build that out would be interesting. Would you do it by piece and MSRP, or would you do it by the hours? So either way, you would come up with a standardized way that you would charge for it, and then bill out your customers each time, right? More common one. How many of y'all like to mow the grass? Yeah, me either. I do it because I'm too cheap to pay someone to do it for me, right? That's another common service that you see a lot, especially with high school students going around their neighborhood and be like, hey, I'll mow your grass for 30 bucks, right? So that's another good example of a service. So we've identified another problem with Legos. So we talked about the minifigures. We've talked about how long it takes to put them together. Next thing, and a huge thing, where are you going to store them, right? When people are passionate about things and they love collecting them, such as myself with Legos and lots of other nerdy stuff because I can't help myself. They need a good way to store it, right? Because they're going to want to protect it, right? They're going to want to keep it sheltered, but also make it visible. So for example, for my Millennium Falcon that we're going to keep walking through this, I was looking at it and I said, okay, I now have a Lego set roughly the size of this table. What am I going to do with this? Where am I going to put this? I don't have a bookshelf wide enough to hold this. I don't want to mount it on the wall currently because I would be afraid of it falling apart. Where am I going to put it? So how would y'all solve that problem? What's something you could do?
I mean, if you had like a room, like dedicated to this type of stuff, you could just put it in a, like, place to where everybody can see it if they walk in that room. But if you don't have a room like that, I would say put it like in your living room or like in an office or something.
Okay.
But in a corner to where nobody would like touch it or like drop it apart.
Okay, yeah, you can put it in what I like to call, or what I liked to call, I don't have it anymore, my nerd cave, right? Or in your living room, as Dr. Nelson can attest, mine was in the middle of my living room. What else?
You can make like tables that have like the top of it like glass and put the Lego set in it and it's like assembly.
And that's exactly what I did. I built a glass top table around it because they didn't have anything like that out at the time. So I took an IKEA set, took the top off of it, ordered a custom piece of glass and plexiglass for the sides, and made an enclosed glass top table to where I could display it and go through and still have it protected, right? Great job. Now you're starting to think about how do you solve those problems in a way that can make you money. What else?
I was thinking you could have someone like hold it for you for a while until you can find somewhere to put it. Like maybe they'll have some place to put it while you make a place or find a place to put it.
Yes, you can store it somewhere. For example, some of my Lord of the Rings stuff. When I was moving, I didn't have a place to display it anymore when I moved in with my wife. So I didn't have a place to display it anymore. I sent it to my sister, and she now displays it in her office. And she knows that one day I'm going to ask for my Lord of the Rings stuff back, and it's going to go on display as well. Fantastic. I know you had one as well.
I just wanted to ask, like, do you use that centerpiece like on coffee table, like, or it's just reserved for the Lego set?
Wait, say that again?
Like, do you use it as like a coffee table?
Yeah.
Since it's in the middle of it?
Yep, it was my coffee table. Now, because the corners are too sharp for the baby, it just sits off into the side in the bedroom. I think it could be easily solved with pool noodles, but you know, slap a pool noodle on it, it's safe. Yeah, so it was my coffee table at one point in time. Now it just sits off in the corner. But all of those things, people are going to spend money on, right? Let me ask you this, because this will put it into perspective. Who is the largest producer of tires in the world? Michelin? Any other ideas? Goodyear? That's Michelin. Well, that's Stay Puft with the Marshmallow Man, but Michelin is the one you're thinking about. Any other guesses? Walmart? I'll give you a hint. You're all wrong. Nope, not Firestone. What have we been using as the example this whole time? Lego. Lego is the world's largest producer of tires in the world. Because think about how many of those sets have those tiny little tires on them. There you go. A weird thing to think about. So, definitely a strange thing to think about when you're thinking about the scale of things, right? But that shows you that Lego is something that, yes, people are passionate about, but also it has massive scale, right? I mean, think about it. People spend $800 on a set. So what are those people going to want to do? They're going to want to protect that investment, right? They're going to want to protect it with, like the example was, an enclosed coffee table to keep it protected, enclosed shelving, custom shelving, right? So that's a way that you take something that you're passionate about, but it is also something that is very profitable and that people spend a lot of money on. They want to protect and find that happy medium, right? So that's what we're looking for today. How do we go through and build that out? So I want you to be thinking about what are the things you're passionate about? What are the things that are going to make you money in the future, right? What are the problems that you have with things that you're passionate about? So how many of y'all now think you know what you're going to be rocking with now that we're starting to talk through it and think out it? Okay, we've got, all right, you're a new hand for it. Video games. Okay, so that's the video game industry is video editing. Wow, I'm deaf. Okay, video editing. All right, for YouTube. Okay, yeah. So content creation, marketing, all a huge industry, right? So what you need to start thinking about are what are the problems in it that you're going to solve, right? What's going to make you different than the next video editor, right? How are you going to solve these things in either new, creative, or cheaper methods, right? So what's going to differentiate you from the next video editor? So video editing is the business you want to do. What's the problem that you're solving within the marketing world?
Most content creators don't put out enough content due to how long it takes to.
Yeah. As Dr. Nelson and I can both attest, video editing takes ages. And if you don't do it right, it looks a little choppy, right? And if this is your main business, you need to be investing into that. Right? You don't see people like PewDiePie or Wildcat or any of those content creators editing their own stuff because they've got to generate the content. When you're posting daily 10, 15-minute videos, you have to first generate all of the content, which can take a few hours, and then double that for the time that it's going to take to edit it. Right? So you're going to want to go through and solve that problem by editing it for them. Okay, and what makes you different? We're going to add a little twist on it. What makes you different from the next one? And it's okay to not have the perfect answer.
I really don't know. Obviously, right now I do it for free.
Don't do things for free. Yeah, don't do things for free. That's like family and friends. Yeah, those will be the first people who will take advantage of it being free. Let me go ahead and tell you that right now. Oh, you have this business. You daycare for, you have a dog dog daycare, right? I have to go out of town. Can you watch my dog and give me a discount because we're friends? No, right? Friends and family will be the first ones to try to get it at a little bit cheaper, right? So start thinking about that. Start thinking about, well, I may not be at the level where I can charge big money, but maybe I can ask for $20 a video, $10 a video, $30 a video, right? So start thinking about it, because right now you're just giving away your time, right? Right now, it's a hobby, right? What are we looking for? We're looking for the businesses where you can turn that hobby into a way to generate money, right? So no more giving it away for free. All right, who else has been working on theirs? I know you were working on clothing, so let's talk about it. What's the pain that you're now solving? What's the problem in the clothing industry?
How prices change, everybody got the same job, and the versatility of a piece of clothing.
The versatility of a piece of clothing. Okay, what do you mean? Elaborate.
Your shirt,
Yeah?
you got it in business right now. Like, if you untuck your shirt, or like, crop your shirt or something like that, and put on another shirt under it, it'll fit in a different genre of style.
That's true. When you said crop it, I was really afraid you were going to ask me to break out Daisy Dukes next, and I was getting a little concerned there. But yeah, no, the versatility of it. How many different ways can you wear one piece of clothing? Good example of that, The Lorax. How many of y'all have read the book / watched the movie? Yeah, most of you. What was the big thing he invented? The thneed, right? What was so revolutionary about the thneed? You could do 1,000 different things with it, right? You could wear it no matter what. So versatility is definitely something that people are going to pay out for, right? I mean, for example, pants with zip-off legs look horrible, but people pay for that versatility to be able to transform into shorts whenever they want to, right? All right, so what are some other businesses that we've already come up with that we're thinking about? Let me get a new one that I haven't heard from today, because I want to see what we're thinking about so far. What are you thinking about? What are some of the industries that you're interested in?
I just came up with a idea for school, have an app where you can pay for a tutor whenever you need one.
Okay.
And have people on there. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, tutoring industry is huge, right? There are all kinds of different services specifically for locating tutors, right? So the beautiful thing about what you're thinking about is it already exists, right? The industry already exists. So now you can look at the industry as a whole and see, okay, this industry exists. What are some problems within it? So within the tutoring industry, you can look at it a few different ways. On a local level, how do I find tutors for a specific subject, right? I can go online, but I'd rather meet someone in person. So how do I go through and find a local tutor, right? So you could go through and create, I don't know, a custom in-home tutoring system where you supply the tutors and they go to the people's houses and tutor them one-on-one. Or you could open something like the Center for Academic Excellence. Is that the new name of it? I still want to call it JAG Success. Yes, so Center for Academic Excellence, right? So you have the building and they come to you, right? So those are some things that you can look at and start thinking about, well, what are the problems that they have? If you don't want to go to them and they don't want to come to you, you could do virtual, right? So you can start thinking about those and thinking about the problems, interviewing people who are in those spaces, and start looking at the problems and saying, okay, well, these are the top problems. Here are the solutions I have for them, right? And this is how I'm going to make my money. Cool.